All right, we are here on Pacers Empire, and today we're going to do a post-game recap talking about the Wizards versus the Pacers, where they did lose 123 to 133. So what's up? My name is Pacers Empire. If you like the video, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate it. And let's get into the video. So I think we'll start it off with Malcolm Brogdon, probably the best player that played for the Pacers tonight. Had 27 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists on 8 of 17 from the field, and 0 of 4 from 3. So Malcolm Brogdon tonight, he showed why he was the leader on this team, having 27 points, but also having 4 assists and 4 rebounds. Now, he didn't get any of his triples to go, being 0-4 from the 3, but 8-17 from the field is where he mostly did his damage. He was mostly just driving into the lane, getting some free throws. He did have 11 out of 13 free throws tonight, and overall, it was a pretty horrible shooting night from the team. The team as a whole, from the three-point line, shot 10 of 31, so you can't really blame Malcolm Brogdon overall, but he was a huge factor in them missing a lot of threes. So Malcolm Brogdon, he's going to be the leader on this team for probably the rest of the season. And they really should look to move Malcolm Brogdon in the offseason alongside Buddy Hield because, they're both vets. Buddy Hield's on a pretty hefty contract. So if they can look to move Buddy Hield and Malcolm Brogdon together, maybe get some higher picks in the draft this year, because this year's draft is most likely a top 3 draft. So if they can package both of those guys and then maybe package their lottery pick that they have this year, then it could be pretty beneficial for this team moving forward. If they can get, Jabari Smith or Paolo Banchero, it would really just help their rebuild moving forward. So next, we've got Tyrese Haliburton, the second best player today. 15 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 steals on 5 of 11 from the field, and 1 of 5 from 3. So, yeah, like I said with Malcolm Brogdon, Haliburton was pretty much horrible from the 3, 1 of 5, and a 5 of 11 from the field. So, Haliburton did most of his damage with the passing ability and his playmaking ability, having 11 assists and 7 rebounds, but overall couldn't really convert most of his triples and his shots overall. I mean, I think he's going to have one of these games once in a while where he's going to be pretty cold from the field, and that's really okay because we can't really expect Tyrese Haliburton, who's around like 21, 22 years old, to just carry the offense right out of the gate. So I'm fine with Haliburton having off games like this from offense, but in terms of playmaking and his court vision, he had 11 assists today and had a lot of pretty great assists. So Haliburton, moving forward, if he can keep developing his shot overall and keep up this high level of playmaking, then I think he's going to be pretty much set for the Pacers and could honestly be looking at a future point guard for the Indiana Pacers. So Haliburton also had 4 turnovers today, so that's pretty much a downside to his 11 assists. But regardless, 11 assists and 15 points is still pretty good. So next we got Buddy Hield. 19 points, 7 assists, 8 rebounds, 8 of 17 from the field, and 2 of 7 from 3. So you can see a trend here with the 3-point shooting, pretty much horrible. There were a lot of times this game where Buddy Hield could have been able to shoot a 3, but he was hesitant on taking 3s, and I don't really understand why. He's a respectable 3-point shooter. Over the season, actually, he's shooting pretty much great from 3, shooting 36% from the 3, but 40% from the field. So he's pretty much a respectable 3-point shooter, and he didn't really take too many of them today for whatever reason, and I'm not too sure why. He was open a lot, and I don't know, he's able to make contested 3s, but he just didn't take too many today. So hopefully Buddy Hield can bounce back. He did also have 7 assists and 8 rebounds, so that's pretty much good to go with his 19 points, but I would like to see more 3-point shooting and more scoring output from Buddy Hield. So next we got Oshae Brissett with 8 points and 2 rebounds. Didn't do too much today, 2 blocks on 2 and 9 from the field and 0-4 from 3. This is what I was talking about. The Pacers are missing a huge void at the forward positions, with the power forward and the small forward positions. That's why I suggested, if they can get a top 3 pick, they can either go for Jabari Smith or Paolo Banchero. It's because both of them could slot in pretty well with this Pacers team, man. With Oshae Brissett, he's been decent, especially in the last 2 years, but overall, 2 and 9 from the field isn't going to get it done. So if they can bring in Paolo Banchero, who can create his own shot, is able to get it done on offense, then I think it would set them for the future moving forward. So, and finally, we got Isaiah Jackson, 8 minutes and had 6 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 blocks. That's actually pretty good. It's a pretty great stat line for someone playing only 8 minutes. He did have 4 fouls, I want to say, in the third quarter, so that's why he didn't play too much. But 6 points and 5 rebounds alongside 2 blocks is pretty impressive for someone that's literally a rookie this year, 20 years old. So 6'10", 205 pounds. So I think Isaiah Jackson has a lot of potential. Off the bench could be pretty interesting, but we just have to wait and see because he is a center. So centers do take some time to develop. But overall, I think Isaiah Jackson has a high ceiling. So getting into the bench, 3 players I want to talk about in particular. So we'll start off with Jalen Smith, who played 29 minutes and had 15 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block on 7 of 9 from the field and 1 3 from 3. So I think Jalen Smith has a lot of potential to become a pretty great big in this league. Ever since coming to the Indiana Pacers, he's been absolutely amazing, and comparing it to his Phoenix Suns stats, it's basically night and day. And with the Pacers, he's averaging around 13 points per game, averaging 8 rebounds and 1 assist on 54% from the field and 42% from the 3. So Jalen Smith is proving to people why he's a baller, and he could have been a pretty great player with the Phoenix Suns. The problem with that fit was they have DeAndre Ayton, they have JaVale McGee, they have Bismack Biyombo, so they have a lot of bigs on the lineup, and there wasn't really much room for Jalen Smith. But with this Pacers team only having Miles Turner, Isaiah Jackson at the center position, Goga Bitadze, who played 24 minutes today, I think the Pacers in the offseason are going to re-sign him. And the sole reason for that is because off the bench, I think he could be so great. And I think he could be better than Bitadze. And I think right now he actually is better than Goga Bitadze, but he does need some more developing, especially in the rebounding department and just the efficiency overall. So next player is Goga Bitadze with 20 points and 6 rebounds. Perfect from the floor, 7-7 from the field and 3-3 from 3. I think this was a career high in terms of points, which was pretty interesting because Goga, he hasn't been doing too much for the Pacers this season, but having 20 points and 6 rebounds off the bench, if he can keep this up, then I think he could be a valuable piece. Maybe even a trade chip in the draft, and hopefully he could, become a good, valuable piece for this Pacers team. I think they could look to move him alongside Buddy Hield or Malcolm Brogdon, just, give other teams another option at center. He's pretty much an okay player. Not saying that he's the best. Over the season, in 39 games played, 45% from the field and 20% from 3, but anything beyond that isn't too worth looking at. 3 rebounds, 5 points per game over the season. Nothing too great right there, but if you can keep up this high level of play, maybe even get like a 10 and 5 each game, then I wouldn't be too mad. So finally, we have Dwayne Washington, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist on 3-6 from the field and 3 of 4 from 3. So Dwayne Washington, coming into this game, I didn't know who he was until I started watching this game, and I think his game mostly resembles like a Ricky Rubio type, which is pretty funny because he is on the roster right now, but they do have some pretty similar styles and the way they just fit in with the team. Because looking at it right now, Dwayne Washington, he's 21 years old, so he could be a point guard for the Indiana Pacers off the bench moving forward, with TJ McConnell being around like 30 to 29 years old, so pretty old right there. They could look to move Dwayne Washington to the backup point guard position, and moving forward could be a potential bench piece for this Pacers team. But overall, the Pacers, they played with a lot of heart today. They just couldn't get it done. The next game, they do versus the Cleveland Cavaliers on Tuesday, so hopefully they can get a win against them. Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen, so hope they can at least stack up against them. The Pacers are still missing Miles Turner, which is definitely a downside. They are still missing Chris Duarte too, and TJ McConnell and TJ Warren. So they're missing a lot of players, a lot of important players. So hopefully they can get a win out against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and hopefully they can just keep up this high level of play. So that's the video. I'm GTC, and peace.